Yeah, my name is Bastian, and I'm, as Max said already, I'm in sales for 12 years already, and I was focusing from the beginning on software sales, and it was also quite a good decision for me because, like in the 12 years, it was a high growth in that area, especially in the SaaS area. And I walked through different roles there. I was a hunter, I was a farmer, and since 6 years ago, I started my first head of role. As Max also said, I worked in different companies. Yeah, all are software companies. But different sizes. So Citrix is a large company as well as United Internet. But I must say, I really prefer working for small companies because then you can really make an impact as a salesperson. So let's take a look again. What is the main differentiator between small deals and large deals? So large deals mean fewer deals per salesperson. Then we have complex sales processes because high volume deals normally you make it in the enterprise or in the corporate area. And when you talk about a 500k euro deal, then you normally don't find somebody that can decide it alone. And that makes the whole sales process complex because a lot of departments are involved, IT departments, then you have compliance departments, and yeah, that's why you really have to work with a buying center. And of course, that makes the sales cycle longer. In my career, to sum up, what I think differentiates the sales execs that are working on large deals versus to the ones that are working on smaller deals is the methodology they are using. So we've heard from Arvin how he's going to get you meetings, how he's going to create leads for you. But I think the difference here is not so big compared to small deals and large deals. That's why today I want to focus on the sales methodology and on 3 categories here. One category is the qualification, and it's obvious why you need a good methodology for qualification, because it takes so long to close a deal, and when you put all your time in the wrong deal, then at the end of the quarter you have nothing. Also, and this is very, that sticks together, the qualification and the opportunity management, because without a proper qualification, you don't know where you are in your opportunity. And this is what I'm going to talk about today. And in particular about the MEDDIC sales approach. Has anybody already heard about MEDDIC? Hands up. Okay, a lot of people have heard about it. How many people have heard about the challenger sales method? Okay, also a lot. I actually must say that I do prefer the challenger sales method. But the problem with the challenger sale is that, as the name says, you have to challenge somebody. Yeah? And when you're in technical sales, you can imagine you have to challenge a CTO. Yeah? That is a very hard game. And even I, after 12 years in tech sales, I wouldn't very much impress a lot of CTOs with my knowledge about technology. And that's why MEDDIC is a very good method, because you can find better sales, you can find easier salespeople, because it's a structure you're following really without having to know the product in depth. So what is MEDDIC able to provide us with? So when you are very properly following MEDDIC, then you always know where you are at your deal. Yeah? you always know what is the next step, yeah? And you don't forget anything to ask your clients, or if you need further information from another department, you always know what the next step is to increase the probability to, at the end, close your deal. I want to do a short, I want to give you a brief information about where MEDDIC comes from. That is quite interesting. So MEDDIC was invented already in the 90s from Jack Napoli. He was working at the large software company called PTC at that time. And by implementing MEDDIC, he was able, in a short period of time, to triple the revenue from 300 million to 1 billion. And it's interesting because many salespeople and sales leaders that were following that process ended up at world-class tech companies. And quite funny is that there are recruiting companies in the UK where one recruiter is responsible for bringing in MEDDIC salespeople. Yeah. So, and one thing that's also interesting for salespeople is that take a look at the logos of those companies. The salespeople there, they make a base salary between 80K and 120K, and the commissions they are bringing in is also often more than 6-figure. So let's take a deeper look into what MEDDIC means. First of all, you need a metric. Metric means your client needs to give you a number, what he expects from your product. 10% increase of revenue, 10% deduction of costs. Then the economic buyer. Who is the guy or the girl that at the end of the day approves your budget that you need for the deal? Then the decision criteria. What kind of solution does your client need? Then you have the decision process, and that is also very important in enterprise sales, because the deals and the sales cycles are complex. That's why you need to know the decision process of your client. And then there's no deal without a pain. Nobody would spend money on your product if there's not a real pain for it. And then the most important person in that process, besides you as the sales guy, is the champion. Yeah? And we at AutomationHero, we have added 2 more categories here. So one is the paper process. Yeah? Because the paper process is something you think you have won a deal, yeah, and your contact person at the company says, yeah, we're going to buy it, and you commit to the deal, yeah, I'm going to close it this quarter, yeah, and then your contact person says, okay, I'm going to introduce you to the contract manager, yeah, and then you get 200 pages of paperwork you have to work on. Yeah. And we have also added the competition, yeah, because who is your competition and how can you position yourself against them? There's no how can you get to the informations that we need for MEDDIC? You need a proper qualification method. Yeah, that's what I said at the beginning. Qualification and opportunity management, they come together. And here we are using the discovery methods to then get our information we need to close the deal. And this is how our value card looks like. So we have made we have marked it with colors. Yeah. So for example. The pain, yeah, is something you can only identify when you know the before scenario and the negative consequences for the company if they don't use that product. One question, what do you think is the most important part of MEDDIC or MEDDIC, how we have it here, after you see that pic? Sorry? Metric is very important, yeah. but as you can see it here, a champion, because the champion is the one that surrounds everything, yeah, and gives you the information. And with, yeah, yeah, correct. He's selling your product internally. All right. Yeah, I'm nearly at the end. I want to give you 2 more insights. So at my company, at AutomationHero, we are really using in written format all the informations that we gather when we talk to clients. And if a sales rep is committing for a deal for this actual quarter, then he definitely must fill out this 4-page sheet where he gathers all this information. And also we have included MEDDIC into our CRM system. So that means for all the deals we are working on in 4 months or 5 months, we have already gathered all the information in our CRM so that everybody who's there can share it. Okay, so to wrap it up, the takeaways are losing one deal can have a huge impact on your pipe and on your target, especially when you're working with large deals. That's why you need to spend a lot of time on each deal and prepare properly. The numbers of leads also is smaller, and therefore you need to spend more time on qualifying your leads properly. And process must be structured and executed properly. Yeah. So I don't know if anybody has already worked for a MEDDIC company. Your sales manager will really kick your ass if you're not working structured. And last but not least, the most important thing: large deals mean large commissions.
All right.
Do we have some time for questions?
Let's take maybe 3 questions, and please repeat the question after you hear it.
Hey, the question: how many calls do you need to gather all this MEDDIC information? Do you do it in 1 call, or 2 calls, or meetings, or how long does it take?
When I have a very good champion, I can do it in 1 call. Yeah, but the challenge is often to find a champion. This is really a challenge. That's also when you think you have a champion, you need to test it, test the champion if he's really your champion.
So, I mean, we've been talking about large deals, and obviously this is something that you can do for large deals. Have you defined a threshold that within your company to fill that all that information out, or do you do it for every deal?
So for the deals that are committed for the current quarter, everybody has to fill this out, and in Salesforce, everybody. Can you repeat? Sorry. The question was if only sales managers are using it or the reps, and the answer is everybody uses it, so the reps also. I mean, a lot is experience, and also you can challenge the sales team members with questions. Yeah, you go and challenge them and ask them question about the metrics, explain the metrics, and if they can't explain the metrics, then yeah, maybe it's not properly qualified.
One last question.
Yeah. How am I finding my champion? Yeah, that is really hard work. Yeah, I can tell you how I test if somebody is the champion. Yeah, so when I'm in the sales process and I'm not sure if he or she is my champion, then I say, let's say his name is Jeff, and then I say, oh Jeff, I think we're going to lose this deal. We're not going to sell it in your company. Yeah. And if he says, yes, of course, I will make this happen, then he's your champion.
All right.